Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan. This is just a quick weeknight thing. And during my last weekly update, we talked briefly about some carts we were making for Warner Brothers, which were a light cart for doing detail work and things like that. They were just some rolling carts that they could attach some fluorescent fixtures to. And there was quite a bit of interest in those. So I thought I would make a video just for those, kind of start to finish. If you guys already watched my last weekly update, there's going to be a little bit of repeated content, but it shows them. I just wanted to get it all in one video, start to finish. So if you've already seen some of it, just fast forward through it so you get to a fresh part. Hey guys, we got a kind of an interesting project. This is just another fab job. I know you guys remember the shark cages, and this was an interesting request from a customer. We've got these light fixtures. Now this is a Class 1 Division 2 light fixture with a hinged lens with a piano hinge, and it swings open for service. You can bulb and ballast it all from the front. And somebody wants to make a rolling light cart with these units. And these are very nice units by LDPI back east. And I got the spec sheets here, so I know how big to make my cart. And here's a cocktail napkin sketch. This is a side view of the cart. We're gonna build a base, triangulated. This is gonna be 60 inches high, and then a 36-inch angle on top, 45 degrees, so that's 22.5 degrees per side on the bias cut there. And the light fixtures go here, here, and here, and these will have some caster wheels on them. Full size of the cart is going to be 7 foot 6 inches tall, minus the wheels. The wheels are just like 6 1/4 inch, so my height is just going to be a shade over 8 foot when I'm done. Now these are 4 foot fixtures. Outside dimensions of the fixtures are about 50 inches. So this thing's going to be like 54 inches wide, 8 foot tall, and the customer's ordered 2 of them. And what we're going to have is on the side there's going to be a control switch and some SO cord coming out of the back. We're going to give it about a 10-foot cord so they can kind of roll it around and plug it in anywhere, and put light wherever they need to do detail work. They do a lot of little fussy detail work up close. So Warner Brothers has contracted me to make 2 of these. So that's kind of a side view of it. And we got a cut list, and you can see on the table we've already got material started cutting. And there's our first concept there, kind of an isometric 6-inch locking casters, 4-tube light in 3 locations. The towel bars that we used on the other ones, we're going to put them on each side as a pull handle, 48-inch base, 96 inches tall overall, 54 inches wide overall. And but we got 2 of those to make, so that's kind of fun doing prototype stuff and getting this the problem solving worked out. Mainly was the balance of the thing. You know, we're kind of contemplating where to place this base, and you can see we've got the base offset towards the bias up here on top. So we did offset the base. Our triangulation is 18 inches, so we offset it to leave about an inch of overhang out there, and then the rest of it just hangs out here, just so that we can bear some load. I don't want to ever take a chance of this thing tipping over. The fixtures aren't that heavy. They're about 40 pounds a piece. And we're using a pretty lightweight tubing. We're using 060 throughout. But I think we've come up with a good left-right on it. What we do need to work out is how we're going to put in 1 cross member here and 1 cross member here. And we're going to make those bolt in. Essentially these lights wire from the ends here, here, and here. So we're going to run the SO cord from one light to the other. And then bring the SO cord out into the trough in the center and make our wiring connections in the center of each light, and with a control switch built right into the actual tubing, and the SO cord will be concealed inside the tubing, and the control switch will actually be cut into the tubing as well, and a cord will just appear out of a bushing down low at the bottom, so that, you know, we don't have any exposed wiring to get handled or damaged or anything like that. So that's our plan with that. And then connecting it left to right there and there, we're probably going to drill and put in threaded inserts with the nut insert tool to connect the left and right sections. All right, but I'll keep you updated as this little project progresses. It's I always like problem solving and doing something new, so that's what's ahead of us.
So here's a little start to it. What we're going to do is we're going to lay out our first one and be real careful to get it all square and even, and we're really happy with it. And then we're going to use that as a pattern for the rest of them. And I'm only going to weld it on 3 sides. I'm going to leave one side really flat, no weld sticking up or anything. And we're just going to clamp it to the table and start making our, make our next one. So here it's flipped, and now we're just going to stack tubing on top of tubing and line up our second one. So we're going to use the bottom one there as a master and build all the other ones right off of that, so all our left and right sections match. So that's really the way to do it. If you've got multiples to do and you don't have a long run of parts, you can do this and set up for doing this without doing any jig work. This is all done without any welding angles to the table or anything like that, so it worked out really well. So in 2 hours time we ended up with 4 very equal halves to our light carts, and they're almost ready for paint, and the rest of it's going to bolt together.
Hey guys, we're back to the Warner carts, and some of you remember what we had started. We're building a cart with 3 of these light fixtures in it. That is in a totally enclosed fixture with a tempered safety glass lens on a piano hinge, and very nice fixtures. And we are last week we built the right and left sides of this. And what we were doing after this, after we got the sides built, we're looking for a way, this is kind of an ISO of it, we're looking for a way to tie in the left and right sides and make some cross members in there. And I think we came up with a really simple way so we don't have a welded construction. I want this unit to be able to unbolt left and right, because as it bolts together it's going to pinch the fixtures and they're going to be captured there. So this is what I came up with, and then I'll come back to these in a second. What we're going to do is this is the same tubing we're using in the for the chassis, or the left and right sides. This is 2x2 thin wall. We've got a hole saw on one side, and then it went all the way down to a 1/2-inch hole on the other. We just let the hole saw go all the way through, drill the pilot on the opposite side, and then flip it over and then come back with a 1/2-inch and drill that out for a 1/2-inch clearance. And what we did with the this is a Schedule 40 1-inch pipe. Just knock some slugs in. They're about 2 inches long, just some little scraps of 1018. Knock them in, and then we had a 1/2-inch hole drilled all the way through this pipe here, and we had these plug welded. So we plug welded here, ground it smooth. Pretty simple bar. And what that's going to do to our tube, it's going to slip in the large hole here, and this guy comes in like this. You take Mr. Impact and just and now I'll let you see that cross section there and look down there. That is a pretty strong connection. And this is I'm going to show you on the drawing where this connection is going to occur. So that's going to be our cross members. This is going to occur in 3 places per unit. Let's go back to our ISO really quick. Actually, let's just look at our side view. I'm trying to get you in shot here, get all this malarkey out of the way. Alright, so you can see my side view of the unit. Now what I don't want to do is cut those large holes in a structural piece. I would consider this structural here. You know, if somebody stands on the card or whatever, with that large hole in the side, we've really diminished the cross section of it and made a weak point. So we're going to make these cross members occur right in this 45 here, and right in this 45 here, just above the weld, just so we got ample room. Okay, so we're going to have two down low, and then we're going to put a third in right at the break. But again, I don't want to cut in to this break for two reasons. If you remember, we were going to use the tubing as a wire chase to get from the wiring from the upper light to the middle light, from the middle light to the bottom light. So we're using the tubing to get a wire chase. And if you look again down that cross section, let me get you aimed. Yeah, look down there. You're not going to get an SO cord through there. So up here on top, we don't want that to happen, but we still want a cross member. So all I'm going to do is right where this weld is, right where that 22.5 degree bias cut is, we're going to grind that weld flat. And the wind's kicking up here. And we're just going to lay a little flat bar down here and rounded with a 1/2 inch hole right back here, just laying on the side of it. So that's going to do two things. It's going to strengthen that joint. So I'm going to have a flat bar laying down across that weld and welded on both sides. So that's going to strengthen the joint, and then my bar is going to be just behind that joint, and that leaves my tubing open on the inside for me to pass my cord through. So we're going to have kind of a 3-point cross member, plus the light fixtures themselves get bolted in, and they will provide a small amount of support as well. So I think we've got a good triangulated cart in all directions. It doesn't matter whether they push, pull, spin, whatever. I think we got a good, some good structure there. All right, so let's. I've already tested the joint. I'm very happy with this. That made for a good, strong connection. And let me put all this stuff away, and I'll take it apart and one more time. And you know, the customer's going to be able to, if a light fixture ever gets damaged, he can take it apart and be able to get in there again, you know, and change out a fixture. Yeah, I think it just came flying out of there. All right, well, on the end, I mean, we just knocked that slug in there, and we didn't even care if it was centered. We knocked the slug in, weld on each side, grind it smooth, chuck it up in the lathe, drill, tap. That way we ended up right on center, and then we faced it. We let them hang out a 1/16 of an inch or so when we welded it, and we faced it off and got it to length, and that way we got a nice square edge to bolt up inside the tubing in there. So it lays in flat and everything squares itself up. As long as we use a nice fat flat washer on the outside, everything will sandwich in and stay square. But that's how we're going to attach the right and left halves of the Warner carts. All right. Okay, and here's a quick assembly we did. And you saw the joint we were going to use. So there's the bolt, and a large flat washer. And that's where the Schedule 40 pipe runs through. And that occurs in 2 places down low and 1 place up high. We got towel bars put on. And we gave them another little hook to hang the cord on when they go to move the cart around. We give them a little hook there they can put the cord up on. But that's what the cart looks like with all the tabs and everything on it. We've got the base plates on for the wheels. Got the cross members cut and drilled, and there's the attachment for the for that upper one. And it didn't get welded here or here. I didn't want to weaken the tubing, so I was always taught to weld parallel with the tubing. Anytime you weld across a piece of tubing, you've weakened it. All right, so that's the cart, and we're still waiting on light fixtures. But 2 of those done. And we're still waiting on light fixtures, but we went ahead and did an assembly on these things. And the wheels are actually a hospital type. They're the rounded type urethane wheels. And they've got a double lock. One of them locks the roll, and this pin here locks the actual swivel. So right now the wheel can't swivel, but you pull the pin out. Let's see if I can do it with one hand here. You give it a quarter turn, and now we're swiveling. And you know, people wonder, why the heck would you want it not to swivel? Well, you lock 2, and then the other 2 are freewheel. And it kind of turns it into a one-man cart, you know, because now you can steer it. So, and you can do that from either end. So we've got a locking swivel, and we've got an actual brake, so that they don't roll away if they park them on a hill or something. But these carts are done until we get fixtures. Got our towel bars installed. Let me turn away from the sun here. So we put a little hook on there for them to hang their extension cord, so that they don't have to drag an extension cord if they ever go to roll it around. And they can disassemble the cart anytime they want. There's the joints down there with the bolts going into that 1-inch pipe. And here it occurs again outside of the tube. You know, we didn't want to break into that joint, if you remember, but it's just a piece of flat bar with a 1/2-inch hole. And then there's your pipe with the threaded insert. So that's what ties the left and right together. All right, but these are at a close until we get light fixtures. All right. Thanks for watching. I know a lot of you guys have taken delivery on your anchor lube on your little samples, and the people over at Anchor Chemical were nice enough to send me a bunch of these little ones, and anything that goes out. I mail a lot of stuff to subs. You know, people buy my little squares, or I trade parts with other people, or for drills, taps, whatever. Until I run out, I'm going to be including a little bottle of this in whatever shipments go out. I'm also going to be sending out these decimal equivalent charts. I'm trying to get that in the camera. I put the bar Z up on the top. Watch us on YouTube, Shade and HKW, but that is my favorite decimal equivalent chart. So all outgoing mail will have this included. You're going to have Anchor Lube and a decimal equivalent chart. So you got Bar Z swag coming at you. Another thing is, and I've gotten a couple of emails, and it's maybe silly, but a few people wanted to buy Bar Z shirts. These are just work shirts. They got the Z with the bar going through them with a bullseye on it. And then on the back, it's got like a blueprint looking thing that says Bar Z Industrial Development. And I have these in the charcoal, and I have them in a light gray. And I'm not putting them on the website. I'm not putting them out for public sale, but all you guys that have emailed me and asked me about shirts, that you want a Bar Z shirt, just email me right up there. And you know what, I'm not looking to make any money on my shirts. Give me $10 and pay for shipping, and we're done. You know, if you do actually want a Bar Z shirt, I never thought anyone ever would, but I've had a few inquiries about it. So if I've got the 2 colors. Email me first and make sure I've got your size. I've got a couple of drawers full. I go all the way up to 2X, and then I go all the way down to mediums. I don't have any smalls. I don't have any triple X's. And the lightly colored shirts have a pocket. And then these are what you see here. The charcoal has no pocket, and these are just kind of a daily driver. And I like these dark colors because they hide oil stains. All right, thanks for watching, guys.